Hi, I am Lynn Davis, and welcome to Season 2 of Walking by Faith, the podcast in which I explore some deep questions with people who have lost their sight but kept their faith. And as with the previous season, their stories are continuing to both inspire, captivate, and challenge me.
In fact, I think if you offered me my sight back tomorrow by some miracle, I'd have to really think carefully about whether or not I'd accept it. Because the first thing I'd have to say was, well, is it actually God's plan for me? This sight loss has been in God's plan for me since before I was born.
As a child, the Yoruba spirituality believed that it is impossible for a child of my then age to have disability. It must be something spiritual. So at that initial stage, it was spiritual intervention that was recommended. And it was even the doctor whose hospital I was admitted in that referred us to a native doctor.
So someone came and approached me and said, do you need any help? And I said, yes. But what was so strange about that person, I didn't hear a footstep. And people always have footsteps. No matter how quiet, you will hear a footstep. And this person guided me to the station and handed me over to staff. And I turned around to kind of say thank you. And the person had disappeared again, no footsteps. And I know people may say, okay, you're kind of making this up. But in my opinion, in my view, in that situation, I feel like God did send an angel to guide me.
Having faith has helped me navigate this new life of mine, being impaired, and it has strengthened me in a way that nothing faces me anymore. Nothing is impossible. Nothing is too difficult for God to do. The simplest thing to people or to humans, like sleeping and waking up, I see those things as miracle, something God has done for me.
Something I've really picked up since I've lost my sight is creative prayer. And I've taught and led a lot of creative prayer, using your senses and not just using sight. But, I've had tables where each table you have to use a specific one of your senses to access the prayer.
I often have a breakfast with Jesus. So I'll sit at the breakfast table, especially if I'm on my own, my husband's away working. And I sit down with my bowl of cereal and I get a chair, I put it out and I say, come on, Jesus, come and sit beside me. And we have, and I might sound a bit crazy to some people, but it's a really special time where I can just pretend Jesus is right beside me. And I just talk about my day and things like that. And I don't know, it just helps me feel really close to God, that He is there with me.
Listen and subscribe to Walking by Faith where you normally get your podcasts. Alternatively, you can listen by going to our website www.torchtrust.org.